Hey, this is Jack, and welcome to the first of my Variax video blogs. I'm hoping you'll join me as I take a deep dive and sort of my personal journey into what the Tyler Variax can do. Ever since I heard that Tyler and Line 6 were teaming up to work on this guitar, I was pretty excited. I don't know James personally, but I certainly know his reputation, and in the years that I was living in LA and playing around, he was one of the cats as far as custom guitar builder and repairman. So I know that I've played some of his custom stuff, and it's just been of the highest quality. So I was really curious to see what this instrument was going to be like when I got it. The JTV 69, which is the single hum tremolo version, inline Strat 25 and a half. Well, you can find all the specs. You know, one of the things that I've discovered over the years of playing electric guitars is I can tell an awful lot about an electric instrument, how it's going to sound without ever plugging it in. How the guitar sounds and reacts acoustically, even though it's a solid body guitar, will tell me a lot about the detail that a manufacturer or a designer has taken in creating the instrument. And it will also tell me a lot about the tone that I'm going to get. No amplifier, no fuzz box, no gain boost, no amount of effects is ever really going to make up or put into an instrument what it doesn't have naturally. And it's really all about, just the way an acoustic guitar is, it's all about the string vibration and the resonance of the guitar and creating this sort of undisturbed pathway for the strings and the wood to all vibrate and act together to create the tone. So without even ever plugging it in, one of my tests for an instrument is to just play it acoustically. And I can tell you, as you can hear, well, I hope you can, this guitar is really loud. Now that's got a lot to do with the choice of the woods. It's an alder body, but it's got so much more to do with how this thing is set up. And I took it right out of the box, right out of the case, didn't do anything but slightly adjust the tuning because it was pretty much in tune when I got it. But it has everything to do with a number of things. The neck angle, the material of the bridge, the fact that these are staggered pole pieces on the tuning machines, which means you do not have to use a string tree, so that the correct angle across the nut is there, but it doesn't get in the way or bind with the use of the tremolo. But it also gives you a clean path on the string vibration. It's uninterrupted. The fewer points you have, the greater the vibration. So this tells me a lot about the thought and detail that James put into designing this instrument, and almost the most significant thing for me is this bridge. Now, I can get you a close-up, or you can take a look on the website. I'm sure there's a close-up picture. But because this thing, it's a floating bridge, regular, sort of floating tremolo bridge that you can find on a lot of Strat-style instruments. But one of the key things, and those are difficult enough to get an instrument to ring correctly. You can pick up, 20, 25, 30 guitars that have some of these elements, and they're not all going to sound like this, I can tell you that. But one of the key things for me was, this bridge has got the built-in hex pickup from Bags that enables all of the digital modeling technology, right? But that also puts a lot of sort of movable parts and places where the instrument or the string vibration can get dampened or not have as tight a fit. If that makes any sense. Not tight a fit, but I think you get what I mean, right? The more pieces and things that you have, the less chance you have for a great vibration or a solid resonance. And man, there's not one dead spot. Every string rings and vibrates, and that tells me that this guitar is going to sound really good when I plug it in. The reason that I'm talking so much and spending so much time in this first blog, basically, this is all I'm going to talk about in this one, about the acoustic properties of the instrument and how it feels, the string resonance, and the vibrations. Like, I'm feeling the body vibrate, which is really important, because ultimately the promise here is that this instrument is going to become my number one. I mean, ultimately, I'm hoping that this guitar, I can get comfortable enough with this guitar and it sounds good enough that it won't be a second instrument, that this is actually going to be my number one, and I'm going to be able to take it to a gig and use it to do everything that I do in the studio with a half a dozen or a dozen guitars and different tunings and different amps and all of that. So that's the promise, and I'm going to say so far so good, because by all indications, at least at this point, it's a really finely made instrument and feels great to play, gotta tell you. So next time we'll stick it into an amp and give the analog side of the instrument its final sort of shake out and see how it holds up and what the impressions are. Hopefully you'll join me for that one too. Take care.